Good evening and welcome to Anime-Zing Radio here on YouTube. We want to let everybody know that Anime-Zing Radio is brought to you tonight by Home Circle Media for the latest and greatest in anime gear. Everything from pens, pencils, stationery, and officially licensed art books. Be sure to check out homecirclemedia.com today or look for them at an upcoming convention near you. We're also brought to you tonight by Casey Fox. For all of your artwork, cosplay, and photography needs, be sure to check out Casey Fox, that's KAYCIFOXX, on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. We're also brought to you tonight by Darren. He stepped away.
He did. But for any of our listeners are in the Raleigh-Durham, North Carolina area, feel free to look Darren up on Facebook for any lawn care needs.
And you can find them at Triple S Lawn Care. Like I said, welcome to Anime-Zing Radio here on YouTube, simulcasting on Facebook and Twitch. Hello to everybody out there who is tuning in through one of those mediums. Thank you so much for joining us. I know last night was weird. We did a special Saturday night show. Big thank you to Jennifer Perez, the owner and CEO of PucciCon, who we are a proud sponsor of, going on in May in Pennsylvania and August in New Jersey. We are excited to be attending both of the events. It's going to be a lot of fun. Tonight, we have an amazing guest as well. But before we introduce our guest of honor, of course, everybody knows our wonderful co-host, Angela Rose.
Hello.
And Darren is dead. He was there a minute ago, and then he just... Oh, there he is.
About to say, I died because I was hooking up my laptop to my TV. And I forgot I put you on mute.
I hope we did justice for the Triple S Lawn Care.
Yes, it's facebook.com/Triple S Lawns. There is no lawn care attached to that one, but yes, Triple S Lawn Care is the Facebook page. Triple S Lawns is the URL.
Cool.
And our guest of honor tonight is a good friend of ours. We just realized it's been like 5 years since we had this gentleman on with us. He is one of the amazing people behind one of the coolest game show companies that you will find at any convention, whether it be anime or sci-fi or wherever they can get their big board up with the whammies and everything. Please welcome Davira Kuy from Big Bucks Entertainment.
Thank you so much. It is a pleasure being back on here on Anime-Zing Radio. It's been at least 5 years, so I feel like this is like a long time reunion. I missed you.
We missed you as well. I mean, for those of you who don't remember, last time Davira was on with us, we were talking about his experience being a contestant on Wheel of Fortune, as noticed by the $3,500 thing on the door behind him.
Oh yes, no, that's actually not from the show. That was actually made by a friend of mine who was also a contestant on the show. I think he won over $76,000 in cash and prizes. So he was on like the year before I was on the show.
Wow.
He actually made that and a $2,500 space and a $5,000 space. Actually, I don't know if you can see it right there.
We got all of them right there.
Oh yeah, and he got some. He made those for me for my 30th birthday, which was actually in 26. Oh God. Never mind. We'll just say birthday. Let's just say I'm celebrating an anniversary of my 29th birthday. Okay. Oh yeah.
I would hate to say what anniversary of my 29th birthday just passed, but
ditto.
That's good young here.
Yes.
Darren's still waiting for his 29th birthday.
Oh, jeez. It's really not that bad once you pass 29. It's really not as bad as most people say it is. So Big Bucks Entertainment, we are celebrating our 10-year anniversary this year, and in fact, our actual anniversary date is the 21st. So I'm probably going to do like a big post about it. If there's anyone out there in YouTube land or anyone who's listening right now, interwebs, as we like to call it, you can actually find us on Big Bucks Entertainment on Facebook at BBE Game Shows. So that's BBE Game Shows. And you'll also find us on Twitter at BBE Game Shows, and you can also find us on YouTube, which will be uploading some footage from our shows, as well as some behind the scenes stuff since we're celebrating our 10-year anniversary. I was able to go back through our vast archive of footage, and we were able to put together a few segments of the best of the past 10 years. And we've had former contestants come back out and reach out to us, some former panelists, celebrity contestants, including some of the legendary actors from the Mortal Kombat video games. They got to play in one of our celebrity games as well, and some other fellow YouTubers as well. And also convention insiders, so head of conventions, people who are behind the scenes in the convention circuit, who have shown their appreciation of the work that we do for their shows, and some of them have actually pretty much have brought us into a part of their convention, like we are a part of the family now. So that's always a great feeling. Yeah, but anyway, I know that Doug has been a part of one of our shows in the past. He back in 2016, you were an audience player spin for Press Your Luck.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you probably have seen other folks do game shows in the convention circuit, whether it be anime, video games, Comic Cons, but it's like, what was your experience seeing our show compared to what you've seen at what other game show convention groups do?
As a longtime game show fanatic, much like yourself, I grew up, my childhood was watching Press Your Luck. I didn't care so much for the reboot, the Whammy show, but Press Your Luck was always a classic. And to be able to be in attendance to see the big board, no whammy stop, everything. And I know there's a lot of technical sides that you guys had to work on to make sure everything was working flawlessly through the entire show. And I think you did. I think there was like 2 separate games that you were able to play in the time spot allowed, and no issues, no hiccups, things like that. Made me wish AZR ran like that, which half the time it doesn't.
It wouldn't be a true Anime-Zing podcast if you didn't have technical difficulties. I completely get it.
Hey, working on that.
Believe me, DV has our own set of problems, of technical difficulties. But we end up making fun of ourselves by the end of the show over it. So it all pans out well in the end.
I will say, from the experiences that I've had seeing game shows, things like Anime Jeopardy and other types of game shows that
Sure.
Other people, whether it be people by themselves or whatnot, trying to host game show panels, yours was one of the most professional, and you are probably one of the greatest hosts that I have seen in person.
Oh.
And I'm not just saying that because we're friends. I mean that as a game show aficionado, and going back, and I've watched game shows for decades. And some of my favorite game shows were things like Card Sharks, Press Your Luck,
Sure,
the Match Game. If you want to go way back, the Match Game with all the old celebrities and stuff like that. And you're very professional on stage. You keep a mindful eye of the contestants and the audience participation, which I think is really, really cool, because sometimes it's easy to get lost in the moment. But you somehow keep an eye on everything going on, making sure that everybody in that arena, or whether it's the main stage or a small room, you try to make sure everybody's entertained and having fun, and you try to include everybody in your presentation, which I think it's very important, and it's a very difficult thing to do.
Yeah, that's one thing I've noticed with a lot with what we do. What we do when we do our shows, we always try to keep the audience engaged, because they're the ones who are coming in to see the shows. If we don't have an audience, we don't have a good show, because it's that synergy of the audience and the contestants, feeding the energy off of each other, And I always emphasize, especially in games like Press Your Luck, the more audience, the more energy you give to the players, the more energy the players are going to give back to you. So sometimes we are louder than the main celebrity guests of of the convention. In fact, I remember one convention. It actually happened in 2016 or 20. I think it was 2016 or 2017. I believe it was Rhode Island Comic Con. Stan Lee was one of the guests of honor. We were in a small room that fits maybe about 100 to 120 people. Right? We were so loud that the Stan Lee crew asked the person in charge of the room, like the point person who's specifically in charge of that room. It's like, can we bring it down a little bit because Stan Lee's room could hear us, and they were on the main stage. Sorry.
Sorry, Stanley, I didn't mean it.
No, and then so it's funny how you also brought up match game as well, because that starting in 2016, actually, we actually started doing. I'm sorry, 2017. There was another convention that we did for a couple of years. It was a 21 plus convention, and we actually started running a match game at that convention. And but there was a little twist though. So the celebrity panelists were actually local drag queens. So it's a play on RuPaul's Drag Race's Snatch Game, but we still kept the match game motif. So think of it as like Alec Baldwin match games. So it was a lot looser, and again, we picked contestants right out of the audience, and so they got to win some prizes, some locally sponsored prizes. Well, I think one contestant walked away with probably like a couple $100 worth of prizes, as well as some cash prizes as well, and it was great. And then in 2018, I had to step back a little bit because I had a little battle with colon cancer. And so, but as I was recovering, that gave me time to reflect on what we can do, what other shows we can bring to the table for the conventions. And then, as a stroke of luck, I was out in Vegas, celebrating beating the cancer, and I end up auditioning and appearing on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, the real show, with Chris Harrison at the time, and that sparked a whole new fire under me to really revamp our version of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, to give it a really energetic jolt. And and then eventually this past November, we finally crowned our first $10 million level winner, the top prize level. And so that was a big moment for us right there, because the top prize, on top of whatever the prize sponsor of the convention provided, this was actually at Retro World Expo, and Retro World Expo, and the prize sponsor gave us a bunch of prizes, and also we had our own prize lot. And on top of that, since she was the first person to win the $10 million level, she also won an autographed copy of the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie, and it was autographed by I think I was missing one autograph, but I got the entire cast. So I got all 6 Rangers. I got Lord Zed, rest in peace, Rita Repulsa, Zordon, Alpha. The only person who was missing was Ivan Ooze. Yeah, and
wow,
I did not realize how big of a deal it was, especially with that, until someone explained to her after. It was like what she had won, and it was like, then her eyes like got big.
Congratulations on that, because I remember we've been talking about that for a while, that you were excited, you were hoping somebody was going to hit that level.
Yeah, we were, and we came close when the last time we got really close to giving away that someone winning the $10 million level was actually at Retro World Expo 2019. No, I'm sorry, 2018. We had a contestant made it all the way to the $10 million level, and he ended up missing the question. It was a question about Pokemon, and it was one of those really obscure, really obscure, minute, detailed Pokemon questions. Because I try to make a point as well to really emphasize with players and also to the audience, I do not get involved with the question writing. I do not see it, and up until I am sitting in that sitting on the screen. The only exception is if someone prints out the questions with the 4 answers, but only for pronunciation. I do not know what the correct answers are, so I just have the question, a pronunciation key, and then the 4 answers with the pronunciation key. That's it. And I only see that minutes before we go on stage. So I treat the whole experience not only for the contestants and for the audience to see what it's like to play on the real show, but also behind the scenes. I try to maintain that level of standards and practices. I think there's at least 2 other game show convention groups that I know of who hold to that same standard as how I would hold it. The main reason why they do is because they actually work in the game show industry. I don't, so I don't have access to all the fun gadgets that they do or software.
Now I have to ask: do you remember what that Pokemon question was?
Yes, I was going to ask the same thing.
Because I know Darren's chomping at the bits to try to answer this because he is our Pokemon expert.
Which of these was not a glitch in Pokemon Red or Blue? I don't remember the 4 choices, unfortunately. But wait a second. I can easily look that up. Let me see if I can pull that up. I'm sure I can.
We could test Darren's Pokemon knowledge.
I would say glitches in Red and Blue. There were quite a bit, and there were even more in Red and Green.
Right. So let me see if I can pull up that. Because I know that would bother me. That would bother me so much. I know I have it here somewhere. I just gotta find it. Oh, here we go. 10 million. No, that's 2.5, 5, 1. Here it is. Which of these is not a glitch? Which of these is not a glitch? A glitch Pokemon observable in Pokemon Red and Blue. A, open apostrophe, EA, close up, A, open parentheses, EA, close up parentheses. B, 94H. C, H apostrophe MP. Or D, PC4SH.
Wow, that's getting coding technical.
Yeah. So
because Missing No had a couple different forms.
Yeah. I knew it was in my archive somewhere. I actually just went on to a couple of, while you're thinking about that, about a year or 2 ago, my old hard drive crashed and it had all the footage, the video footage from 2012 to pretty much from then to now to 2020, September of 2020. And I didn't have a Google Drive or a cloud service. I was kicking myself for not getting it. And now I have it, so I'm not going to make that mistake ever again.
Were you able to salvage the footage?
No, because it's the old SATA hard drives, and it's the one with the mechanical arms on the inside. So but if I tried to put it on a USB enclosure, I couldn't. I can't salvage it because it's not readable. So in order for me to get all those files back, I would have to ship it out somewhere. But it would be very costly for me to get it. So I was able to salvage some stuff, but not pretty much from 2017 to 2020. September 2020. I don't have any footage from that anymore. In order for me to find that, I would have to sift through my Facebook, our Facebook page to try to retrieve those photos. But audio files, promo pictures, all gone. So it's a valuable lesson learned. Make sure you back everything up, people. You hear that in YouTube land?
I can concur. I lost some important stuff from 2017 to 2019.
Oh,
whereas I've lost hard drives before that.
At least you're not the guy that lost the one with all those bitcoins on it. He's still searching that landfill.
No, that's my boss.
Ooh. Ooh.
And then I have this little external hard drive here that has almost 300 episodes of Anime-Zing radio over the past 6+ years from our Blog Talk radio days. Because I had to literally download and save on an external hard drive because there was so much information there. Otherwise, I could not cancel my account with Blog Talk Radio because I had too much stuff saved.
How many terabytes is that hard drive?
I think it's a 1 or a 2. I don't remember.
Mm. Oh yeah.
I think it might be a 1.
Oh, Darren, did you which one did you think the answer was?
I know I'm probably going to get this one wrong, but if I'm not mistaken, the only one that seemed odd was the PC4 one, even though I know there were multiple PCs. So right. I think it was the fourth option.
Right. So if you had gone with that, actually, Angela, what do you think? What do you think the answer is?
I know absolutely nothing about Pokemon, so I would, at that point, I just would have called.
You just walked away. You would have walked away with $5 million.
I would have.
I would have walked away with $5 million as well because I would have been like, you started talking. I'm like, this is gibberish. I don't understand even what he's saying. It doesn't sound like Pokemon.
It is a glitch in Red and Blue, neither of which I've ever played and didn't know existed until about 1.5 years ago.
Oh my!
Oh!
Shame on you! Shame on you!
Now, thanks for making me feel old for 29 again.
Look, I grew up on Ruby and Sapphire and Emerald because I got into Pokemon late. Yeah. But even my friend across the street, or my neighbor across the street, he had Pokemon Yellow. So
see,
I didn't know about all the glitches until later on, but.
Darren, to put this into perspective, I was 16 when the first movie hit the States.
Which means I was 20.
My old manager said that him and his wife went on a date or something when they were still dating, and went to go see the movie. And while everybody was in the theater crying, they were just kind of laughing. And I was like, rude.
And I was a cashier that had to sell the stupid toys. And I had no idea, and Those
things are probably pretty valuable now.
I'm aware they are. I had to sell them, and I had to deal with angry people when they found out that we sold out in 4 hours.
Oh dear, that's never any fun. That's never.
But
I was mad that someone stole the promo card, the promo Mew that was given to me from the second movie. Now, that pissed me off.
I will say, if I had to take a guess, of the 4 of them, I would just go B. I don't even remember what the answer was. I would just say B because the answer is half the time B.
Right. Oh dear. Whew. So, for the correct answer, by the way, was C, H''MP. So, yeah. So that contestant, he was like kind of guessing his way up, but he was really jumping on the answers before I could ask if that was his final answer. He was like, I'm going to say D, blah blah blah, final answer. I'm going to say A, blah blah blah, final answer. It's like, and when they make it to the final 5 questions in my version, that's when they would start playing for cash prizes. So in the form of gift cards. So so I told him, I want you to be absolutely sure that you say is like, before you say yes, because now you're playing for cash prizes. Because the way in my price structure for Millionaire, it's if you make it past the first 5 questions, you would be guaranteed to leave with a $5 Starbucks gift card or something like that, something like that. And then the second tier, you will play for prizes in our prize lot. So you would win, if you get question 6 right, 7, 8, 9 right, you would win 1 item, 2 items, 3 items, 4 items, and then the second milestone which in our version is $100,000, you would be guaranteed to leave with 5 items in our prize lot. And then for the final 5 questions, in addition to being guaranteed all that, you would also get 2 additional lifelines. And then from that point, from the final 5 questions, that's when they would start playing for $5 gift card, $10 gift card, $25 gift card, $50 gift card, $100 gift card, and then of course with the bonus with getting that that Power Rangers DVD. So theoretically, that contestant who won that $10 million level, she walked away with over $2,500 worth of cash and prizes. So because of the Power Rangers DVD, because of the autographs of how many there were. But actually, I was able to find the $10 million question that that contestant won. So let me see if y'all can get this one. Okay, you guys want me to do this with the millionaire music? Are we allowed to do that?
Sure.
I don't know if YouTube would allow that or not. I'm not 100% sure. We could try it.
I was gonna say YouTube might suppress that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Then we'll hold off on that.
If we were on Blog Talk, I'd say yes, not a problem. But YouTube is very, very picky about what. That's why we don't do commercials anymore. We don't play music anymore. We're lucky enough to get the voice actors to, do character voices on the show from time to time.
Promotional consideration provided by
Darren.
All right, here we go. Due to licensing issues, Juventus appears in FIFA 21 under what team name? Buenos Aires, La Spezia, Piemonte Calcio, Núñez.
Oh
my
God. There we go. There's our music.
Habla inglés, por favor.
The worst part about it is, if you had asked me that question 6 hours ago, I could have asked my best friend that question, who is a diehard soccer international football fan. He would probably know that answer.
Yeah. So she didn't. So this contestant, her name, I think, her name was. We'll go with her name is. So we'll go. Her name was Berdina, and she was completely. Is like see final answer YOLO. It was like, and I was like, I want you to be. So she blurted final answer before I could lay out everything. Before I laid out all the stats for her. So the computer was locked in C as the final answer, and so I said your final answer is C, Piemonte Calcio, and I was also reiterating to the audience, if she's wrong, you will lose $4,900,000. We'll take a break. The entire audience just like, no!
Classic TV game show.
Yep.
So we actually did do a commercial break. So because I had to, do the prize sponsor little plug in here. Don't mind my football cat behind me here. So
okay.
Yes, that's Milo.
Hi, Milo.
So and then we came back from the commercial break, and then I was happy to announce that she won the $10 million, and she got a standing ovation from the audience, and then after the show, after we were finished with the show, she came back up onto the stage and publicly congratulated her again. We took some promo pictures together, so then she got her prizes. She got $100. Got with all those prizes, the prize sponsors from the convention for being the highest seed in of players. So I think we went through 5 players, but she scored the highest since she won the $10 million, and she also won that Power Rangers DVD. So again, $2,500 worth of cash and prizes right there. So that was a very special moment, and You'll never forget your first. And now I need to find another big prize I can give away for the $10 million level now.
Oh, hearing that, it's like I wish I still had that DVD. Because I remember telling you when I first started this journey, I had won a Fairy Tale DVD from Anime-Zing's charity auction. It was Volume 3.
Yeah.
I wasn't huge into Fairy Tale, but I knew I'd be attending a lot of conventions that voice actors would be at. By the time I finished this 4-year adventure and donated it to Anime Boston's charity auction back in 2019,
Yep.
it had 15 signatures on it from voice actors who have been a part of Fairy Tale.
Sure.
And I documented who signed it and at what convention and what year. So we had names that were really difficult to get in the New England area. People like Michaela Krantz, who'd only been up twice. Going to the one down in D.C., Katsucon, got Jamie Markey, and I think we had Tia Ballard's autograph. Like, we had a lot. We had 15 different voice actors, Monica Rial, and
sure. Yeah.
So that went for about $400 at Anime Boston's charity auction that year.
Yeah, I think one of the rarest autographs that I received as a rate from that Power Rangers DVD was actually Amy Jo Johnson, the original Pink Ranger, because she did not do conventions for the longest time. It was probably not until 2014 or 2015 when she started coming back out and meet fans for the in the convention circuit. And as soon as I found out she was coming to one of the conventions, like, I yeeted myself over to that convention. It's like, sign it. Well, not like that, of course, but
that's what you're doing internally.
Yeah, exactly. So with all the one of the things that with doing our game shows too, we've had a number of voice actors and some other YouTubers and celebs play our games. So we had, I think it was another Anime Con 2016. It was the last time I was there. We had J. Michael Tatum play Millionaire with fans in the hot seat. And we had a contestant make it to the $2.5 million question and lost. And so he was able to leave with, so he was guaranteed the $100,000 level, the 5 items in the prize lot. And then
that's because you listened to Tatum. I think I saw that video, and Tatum's like, "Yeah, it's this. It's definitely this. You want to go with this." And they got it wrong, and he's like, "Why did you listen to me?"
Always calling their bluff. So some of the other voice actors who played was actually Damon Mills. I don't remember him.
Oh yeah.
I think he's done lots of stuff now, but I think one of his first big time gigs was actually in Pokemon, in one of the Pokemon series.
He was a Team Fleer grunt because we met him at AAC the same year we met Michelle Knotts.
Yes, and I remember Michelle wanting to play, but we didn't get the chance to get her in to play. But I know she was very interested in wanting to play Millionaire. So I hopefully when the pandemic is over, and if she's willing to come out to the conventions again, I would love to reach out to her and ask her, would you be interested in playing Millionaire, or at least one of the other game shows that we offer? So let's see. We've had the legendary actors from the Mortal Kombat video games play a round of celebrity press your luck. That also involved a few shots of tequila. Yeah, that was beautiful. It was one of the most entertaining nights I've ever had at a convention. You hit a whammy, you take a shot. You lose, you miss out on a question, you take a shot. It was beautiful. It was
how much tequila was left at the end?
It was Montezuma, so it was like drinking glass. So the next morning, I remember one of them, I think it was Sal DeVita, who was the robots in Mortal Kombat 3 as well as Nightwolf. and a number of other characters. But he came up to us the next morning, gave us a big hug. He said, "I love you. I hate you, but I love you, man." It was. They were the next day. They were all like, why did I do that? But it was a great time though. And then so we've had those three. We've also had the Norm, the gaming historian, play Millionaire as well. Actually, with the this past November at Retro World Expo, he was actually playing with that contestant who won the $10 million level. So in the same way that J. Michael Tatum did, we pick a random person from contestant from the audience, and the celebrity helps them play through the questions. And let's see, a couple of other people. Who are some other folks? Some other gaming YouTubers such as Pam from Cannot Be Tamed, Pixel Dan, and Game Chasers. So we've had a number of celebs, and also who's going to be? Any of you going to be at Anime Boston this year?
I'll be there.
You will be there.
Angela and I will be there as press.
Yep.
Good. You need to come to see what. I'll be back there running Press Your Luck and an Anime Boston exclusive game show for BBE. We are presenting Deal or No Deal.
Oh wow!
Yes.
So just like on the real show, we're going to have models. Our models are going to be volunteer cosplayers. So cosplayers who do necessarily want to who want to show up their cosplay, but not necessarily want to be in a cosplay contest. They don't want to have that pressure. So what so we are going to reach out. We're going to do like an outreach to see who will be interested in cosplaying as one of the models, and we're actually going to teach them to how to properly open the briefcases. Because
if you want a good laugh, Div, I am going to be at Anime Boston in my first ever crossplay as Miss Kobayashi from Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid.
Are you going to shave?
I will be shaved. Yes.
Oh no, you're going to look 5 years old again.
This is all going to be gone. I'm going to have the wig on. We're picking out glasses, and I'm going to look like Kobayashi. And the best part is, if I want to tell people I'm not cross-playing, I'll just tell everybody I'm Kobayashi from season 2, episode 2, when she was turned into a man.
Okay, all right, we'll run with that. Sure, no problem. So the first time we actually ran Deal or No Deal was actually in 2019. It was actually about 3 weeks after the appearance on Millionaire. So it was like 2 weeks after. And so we did the same thing. We had cosplayers be our models, and what we're also going to do is I'm going to have like little cue cards, and I'm going to say when the contestant says I'm going to pick case 12. All right, case 12. We have we'll say this cosplayer name if they choose to disclose it, and then the character they're cosplaying, what series they're from, and if they decide if they want to share their social media for people to follow them, they can do that as well. So, and then I'll tell them open the case. Just like so, the difference between me and Howie Mandel is I don't mind shaking hands with people, but in the pandemic, since we're still in the pandemic, we're still going to try to maintain some level of social distancing. So we're going to work some things out that way, because I know that I know any of the shows that are traveling now, the actual game show groups that are traveling about now. I know they have their own standards and practices for social distancing and COVID protocols. So we're of course going to follow whatever Anime Boston's procedures are, and then also have our own measures too. So we're being very mindful of that. So if we can't have 26 cosplayers, then we'll have 13 cosplayers opening 2 briefcases. If we have to. So we want to make sure everyone's safety and all that fun stuff.
So that means when I see you at AB, I can't run up and give you a huge hug?
No, I think I personally would be okay with it, but if we're on the stage, I can't because I want to try to maintain that.
I know
protocol. But
trust me,
you can hug me all you want.
Trust me, the oh my god, I haven't seen you in 5 years will kick in and be like, it's been too long.
I think that's what we call glomping. Is that right, folks?
Yes. And
unless Angela has me on a leash being like down boy because I am wearing the Inuyasha hat.
Yeah, I was gonna go with beating, but that works too.
I have to say, I'm gonna keep my comments to myself on that one.
I gotta tell you, I can't even begin to tell you how many times I've been glomped by contestants, audience, people who are in the audience who are fans of my shows. I've I've been hugged, I've been picked up and thrown over their shoulders and spun in circles. I've been kissed, I've been licked, I've been kneed, I've been. I had a drag queen put a cutlet on the top of my head. I'm like, I was like, this guy's. I was like, what? Why? What I do here? I'm just a host, for God's sake. I'm just a host.
And I was gonna have a smart ass comment until you said the drag queen. I was gonna be like, and that was just one night with Tatum.
Well, I've been there, done that.
Oh dear.
No. It was but we've every moment that I've had. With,
I'm sorry, I'm throwing you off tonight. Usually the guest throws me off, but I'm doing the reverse.
No, it's been so long since I've talked to you. So. And so my first time meeting Darren and Angela too. So I'm sure this is a bit of a culture. Is this a culture shock for you both?
That's normal.
Okay.
That's normal for me, I guess.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, all right.
And Angela is from Boston, so she knows Anime Boston. Angela, you've probably seen Div in cosplay at AAC or Anime Boston in years past.
Entirely possible.
If it was AAC 2016, you have saw me. I was cosplaying as Quan Chi from Mortal Kombat.
Entirely possible. I would not be surprised if that year I would almost assuredly running around at least some of the convention as Yang from RWBY.
Okay.
Because she is one of my favorites.
Okay. And then also this past in November, in June of 2019, I also debuted a new cosplay, which I have yet to do at an anime convention. Rita Repulsa from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Which con did you do this at?
I've done Rita Repulsa at Rhode Island Comic Con, Granite State Comic Con. Yeah, that's it. Convention.
Gotcha.
But other than that, the only time when I've done Rita Repulsa is Boston, is the Pride Parades. That's it.
And this is, I know it's tough to see, but this is one of Div's cosplays.
Yes. Magic wand make my monster grow. Actually, if you look behind me, you can actually see the Rita Repulsa staff right there, just chilling.
There I am.
Oh yeah. So but I've another celebrity celebrity game in shenanigan. I think it was actually I had one guy I can't remember. Oh, it was Sean from Game Chasers. He said something in a really, really sultry, deep Southern voice, and it caught me off guard, and I started blushing while I was talking to him. And we were in the middle of a game too. I think we were playing the Celebrity Press Your Luck, and I said, find me on the 27th floor, which doesn't exist in the hotel. And then it's like you keep talking like that. You're gonna have to find me on find me on one of those dating apps. I won't say which one, but and then everyone just started laughing because I could not keep a straight face. You ever seen a Southeast Asian man blush? We don't turn red, ladies and gentlemen, folks. We turn fuchsia, and that's before the alcohol. Let me get my Pepsi AC while we're at it. Oh my God!
I've missed having you on the show. I'm sorry we haven't reached out sooner than this, man.
Well, there goes political correctness of this podcast. So I apologize if you get demonetized.
Political correctness? What's that?
Never heard of it.
Yeah, I don't know what that is. We talk about anime and all the.
I was gonna say
I
think I've threatened to murder. I think I've threatened to murder everybody at least once.
Have you threatened to murder me yet?
No, I think she threatened to drive down and kick your ass, but not murder.
That might have been it.
So.
That is too funny. Yeah, so we had that. It was one YouTuber, the Geeky Panda.
The Geeky Panda is someone I'm actually friends with.
Oh, then you'll be able to ask him about the story. Playing Press Your Luck, he was gone because he downed a bottle of Johnny Walker Black before he started playing the game, and he ended up whammying out by the end of the final fight, near the end of the second big board round, and then he was saying, "Wow, this is this." I said, "This looks like a very bleak game." It's like, "Oh my God, this is worse than the Oregon Trail." That's what he said. That's pretty bad right there. So he was he was great, and again, so many fun moments with the with celebs and also on top of that with the civilians too. And I'm so grateful for these past 10 years of everyone who's been a part of the show, whether it be contestants, audience members, convention folks, podcasters. Who help let me come on to talk about our shows and what we do, and of course I'm very grateful for the viewers viewers at home on YouTube or on social media seeing our show, because if it and of course as I said before, the audience who are at the conventions, because if it weren't for them, we wouldn't be able to have as much energy and enthusiasm as we would have when they were there. In fact, probably one of the biggest turnout for audience that we've had for a convention it's a toss-up now between PAX East 2016 and Anime Boston 2019. That was like for those two conventions. And also Boston Comic Con 16. I think we've had as many as between 300 to 400 people in the audience. That's more than the TV studio audience for most of these shows.
Actually, are you going to be at PAX East this weekend?
Unfortunately, I won't be there. I'm sorry. Are you going to be going?
I will be there.
Oh.
And I will be there. Unfortunately, I will be at a different convention. I will be at Vermont Sci-Fi and Fantasy Expo in Essex, Vermont.
Oh, okay. And what about you, Darren?
I'm down in the Carolinas.
All right. So,
so Darren will be doing landscaping for any of the new people who have contacted him through watching this show.
And apparently dying.
So if I win the $300-something million Powerball tickets, that mean I get to build a Rita Repulsa Palace in the Carolinas?
Sure, why not? Hey, with that much money, you can do what you want.
Just buy some land and just build a replica of the Rita Repulsa Palace from Power Rangers and call it home.
I mean, China built replicas of quite a few famous cities in America, so why not?
Yeah, exactly. The inside is it'll be a replica of the palace, the outside, but on the inside will be all. Some rooms will look like what was on the show, but then some rooms will be like my own stuff, and it will look sleek, it will look beautiful, it will look absolutely decadent, with pastels. Thank you, Morticia Adams. Oh, but, yeah. So since this month is also the beginning of the celebration of our 10-year anniversary, I've started off with doing uploading videos on our Facebook page about, as I said, about, some of looking back at the 10 years from, I've done our team. We look some of our team members talk about their most memorable moments, throughout the 10 years. And then next we have former contestants and panelists who have taken part in our shows in the years past, and also talk about their time on our shows. I think there was one contestant I've reached out to. Her name is Veronica Marie, and she was a champion on Naughtycon on Match Game Naughtycon 2018. She won Match Game, and so she talked about that, and also we've also reached out to we've also reached our champion from Press Your Luck Anime Boston 19 to talk about his experience and everything, and then also from AAC 16 Super Millionaire, we had one of the Lifelines talk about his experience of being behind the scenes and also being a Lifeline, what it was like. I think I've done, and then we've done the convention insiders and the celebs. So Geeky Janet did a segment. The owner of World Expo did a segment. Sal from the Mortal Kombat games talked about his appearance, and also a member of the 501st who actually got the door who opened the door for me to even start doing these. He talked about his reflections about what he has seen from the past 10 years, how much I've evolved from doing from 2012 to now, and like how much it's grown. So it meant a lot to see how it meant a lot for me to hear, so many people really love the work that that our team does, and I'm very grateful. And then I'm trying not to get super choked up about it,
Well, it's a big deal. I mean, we a couple of weeks ago celebrated our 8-year anniversary on the show here, and I can't imagine what's going to happen for our 10-year anniversary show. I want to do big. I want to get some amazing guests and stuff in for that, but it's really, and like you said, it's a big thank you to the supporters, the people who have come and listened to, like in your case, come and watched your game shows for years and been there and watched the transition from 2012 to now, and for us going from 2014 to now, and seeing how I have either progressed or regressed as a show host, depending on who you talk to. It's either gotten better or worse. But
yeah, oh yeah. So I know we have a couple of minutes left, but I just wanted to.
Oh no, we go till 10.
Oh, you go till 10. Okay, perfect.
We got another hour with us.
I thought it was 1 hour. Okay, never mind.
No, not anymore. Okay. We're 2 hours with the guests.
Okay, sure. All right.
During Anime Boston, we shall actually have an in-person toast to all of this.
Oh God, thank you.
And if you would permit it, I would like to try to set up to where we could live stream one of the game shows on our channel, setting up basically like a small video camera or something like this. Sound quality will be as good as we can possibly do, but we would love to have the opportunity to live stream on Anime-Zing Radio, a YouTube exclusive from Anime Boston for one of your game shows.
Let's talk about that after then, because if that's the case, there are some specifics I want to request then for that. Okay.
Yay.
No, that'll be very exciting. But yeah, so aside from the $10 million winner from Super Millionaire, during the lockdown, during the quarantine of the pandemic, um, since I'm a former Wheel of Fortune contestant, I've actually there's a network of former contestants who got together. I pretty much said, I got them all together and said, okay, I want to do. I feel so trapped right now with this pandemic, and I want to do something, but I feel helpless. What can we do? And a few former contestants and I said, why don't we do a charity special? And we streamed it on Twitch, and we called it Wheel of Fortune Social Distancing Edition. So we had former contestants from all over the country. We've reached out to as many as we possibly could through Facebook, and we ended up doing a charity tournament where we were raising money for Project Cure, and I think we raised a couple $1,000 for it. But the best part was to keep in the tradition of of the Wheel of Fortune tradition. If you've ever been a contestant, one thing that what makes the day very special for all of us, including my time when I was on the show, Vanna White would come out and said hello to all of us and wished us all luck. We reached out to her and she did it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so it was so cool to have her do that because since all of us have been on the show in the past, we want to keep that tradition. So one of our alums who actually ended up becoming really good, fairly good friends with her, because she was raising money for a charity, and he bid $5,000+ for a private luncheon with her and 10 of his friends, and had lunch with her, and anytime, and since he won that auction, anytime when he goes to see the show out in California, he makes she makes a point. He makes a point. Or she makes a point to tell him, call the show, call the offices, let them know that you are, let Vanna know that he's coming, and she actually invites him, backstage and hang out in her dressing room. In fact, he picked out one of her earrings for one episode. So that was
cool.
Really cool. So since he had that connection, he reached out to her and she did it. And that was such a treat, And since we end with Wheel of Fortune and how I run BBE, there's also a former contestant who is also a super fan of Wheel of Fortune, that he actually built his own 1-to-1 replica of the wheel and the old school puzzle board where she actually physically turned the letters. You guys remember when she did that?
Yep.
I have to make sure. And
even I do.
Yes. So she made so to keep in that tradition, she we reached out to her and she wished us all luck and told her what this thing was all about. And so we used that giant wheel, and we had like a software puzzle board, just like how they do on the show now. But we didn't do it at the current toss-ups or anything because of the since everyone was all over the country. We raised money for Project Cure. We raised about $1,250 from the former contestants. So the way we worked that format out was, whoever had the highest score at the end of their game, they were guaranteed to leave with I think it was $50. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, it was $50 for their charity of their choice. And then for the bonus round, if they solved the puzzle in their bonus round, it was doubled to $100. So, so we did that we picked 9 contestants, and then the winner from those 3 games would come back at the end of the show, at the end of the to play a 4th game, and that would be the champions game. and they would so everyone was guaranteed what they've won in their previous games for their charity. So whoever won the championship game won $250, an additional $250 for their charity, and if they got the bonus round right, it was bumped up to $500. So
that's cool.
Yeah, and then also we and of course the team also pitched in some money to put to donate for charities as well. And while we were doing that, anyone who was watching the Twitch broadcast of the game was also donating to Project Cure.
That's fantastic.
So that was probably one of the most meaningful things that we have ever done for BBE. That meant so much. It was most a feel good thing because we were literally helping people.
Oh yeah.
And then having Vanna White, taking time out of her schedule to say hello to all of us, that was a real treat. I think we were. Oh, and also to keep in the tradition of Wheel of Fortune, we also all the contestants, and I wasn't wearing it, but we were all wearing our name tags as when we were on the show. So that was one of the perks of being on the show. You got to keep the name tags. In fact, it's somewhere in the back corner there, but I was gonna pull up, but I'm in my pajamas. I don't think my pajamas aren't the prettiest things. I look like a lumberjack right now with these pajamas. So
no worries. No worries. What was it, Darren? A couple of weeks ago, you had your camera on and you were walking around in your boxers or something like that.
Yeah, I happened to leave my camera on because I had it pointed toward. It was either Hotaru or one of my figures. I don't remember. And Miss Anime, the
logo in the corner.
The logo in the corner happened to be in just the right position where it blocked out me standing in front of the camera. So I got.
Was this during this broadcast or?
Yes, this was during a live broadcast.
I didn't realize that my camera went out that far in terms of the lens, so I got saved by that logo.
Have you ever heard of OnlyFans?
Yes, one of our recent guests said he was going to start one.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, God.
As a joke.
Yeah, I know exactly who you're talking about.
Is it who I think it is?
Yes.
And if you want to see just how outrageous this guy is, check out his podcast, The Xcast, on Wednesday nights.
Yeah.
Got to throw the shout out, throw Jason Moulton some love. I know he has a lot of enemies, but really he's always been good to us, and I will support any venture that he has because he's always been wonderful to us. Had a lot of great times at the conventions that he's put on in the past. Now, we've been having so much fun reliving some of the memories and stuff from BBE over the past 10 years. And Dave, I know that you've had a lot of awesome moments and things of that nature. Were there game shows you've wanted to try that just didn't work out, or you couldn't figure out how to get all the odds and ends in?
Believe it or not, it's a logistics nightmare, but if we can pull it off, it would be amazing. I actually want to do Wheel of Fortune for a convention. So instead of doing it virtually because the wheel that we used for the social distance edition is down in Texas, in southeastern Texas. So if there was a way to bring that wheel up, it will not be an easy feat. So if we were to do Wheel of Fortune, it would have to be. I would love to do a one-to-one scale replica of the wheel, because I actually know the dimensions and the dimensions and the schematics and how the wheel is built. But it's just a matter of getting it out there because it's not a heavy piece. In fact, on the real Wheel of Fortune, there's only one wheel. everyone thinks there's a travel wheel that goes out for the whenever they go on the road. No, they disassemble that wheel from Hollywood, as well as the puzzle board, and they move that to wherever they're filming the show, and that is not easy. I think on the show there's like 200-300 people working on the crew, but whenever they travel, it's 100-person skeleton crew, and they hire local people to to help out if need be. But the wheel it's one wheel, and the puzzle board, there's only one puzzle board. There's
the wheel that you have, could it be disassembled and shipped?
I haven't built it yet, so I'm trying to figure out the logistics of, okay, if we're going to have this wheel, where am I going to store it? And if I store it, where is it? How long can it last? And then when we do bring it out to store it, imagine how much space do we need? Do we need to, if we're gonna do Wheel of Fortune, let's say, for example, at Anime Boston, are we going to be on the main stage, or we're just going to be in the game show room, because of the sheer size of what the wheel is, how big the wheel is, and if we were to do 1-to-1, if I were to scale back a little bit instead of doing 1-to-1, the most I would want to do is somewhere between 3/4 to 80% to scale. It's because I kind of feel like if you do a scaled down wheel, it works, but it won't have the same oomph as it was if it was 1-to-1. And since I've been on the show, I've seen it. I know the feel of that wheel, how heavy it is, and that's always been my MO. Whenever I do my game shows in the convention circuit, I want to give everyone a taste of what it's like to be on a real game show. It's always been my mission objective. When we run Millionaire, you're sitting in the hot seat, you're looking at the same graphics as you would see if you were a contestant on the real show, or as close to it. And since I was already on the show, I know firsthand of what to expect, when I see screens and whatnot. And with Press Your Luck, as you all may or may not remember, we have we have the buzzers, just like they did on the real show. But this time around for Anime Boston, I'm debuting a new piece of equipment where we actually found the model, a very similar model to a button of what the show actually used.
Oh wow!
Wow!
So, the same yellow base, and even this, when you press down on it, you hear that. It's So we're gonna give players what's that authentic feel, and I think one person mentioned this in the reflection videos that I've been uploading. Says what BBE brings to the table is outside of television is the most professional looking productions that he has ever seen. And again, that's always been my MO. I want to make sure that we have we give that experience, that feel. So if I have the opportunity to build a full the full Wheel of Fortune feel, if we were to do that, it has to be 1-to-1. I'm sure again, if we do a scale down wheel, it works, but it won't have that same authenticity.
Yeah.
So a lot of people think I'm nuts for it, but the thing is, I know what I'm talking about.
I can speak from experience of knowing Davira that if he came with anything other than a 1-to-1 scale for any game show that he's going to put on, he is going to feel like he failed in some way, shape, or form to provide the 100% as authentic of an experience for it being on that show as he can.
Yeah. So when we, with Millionaire too, we have, when we have the hot seat podium, again, you look like you're watching the real show. We try to give that feel, and everyone who has been able to have played on our shows, usually after we're done with the show, breaking down the show, I asked the players that day. It's like, hey, can you at some point after we're finished the show, maybe about 20 minutes from now, can we sit down and actually for us to do a little quick post game interview to talk about your experience? And majority of them said absolutely, and that's what they all have said that. And again, it's that's if they felt like that, then my job was done. Otherwise, again, if I wasn't putting in that kind of effort, there was no point for me doing these shows at all.
Oh yeah, and that comes through when you're putting on as the host. You can tell how much passion you really have for this. This is a true love. You're not just doing this as a job of, I'm just here doing this. You truly love doing what you do, and it emulates through the performance you put up on stage. You're not just the host of these game shows. You are an entertainer of these game shows. And, as someone who's been in the audience for a couple of different shows that you've done, and for you to have pulled me up in front of a whole room to be like, and this is Doug from Anime-Zing Radio, and give us a shout out and stuff, which was really, really cool from my perspective, because we were still a pretty young radio show or podcast at that time.
Sure.
And still trying to figure out exactly who we wanted to become, and we're 2022, we're really branching out to do a lot of new stuff. And I know we haven't talked in a long time because of, as Angela likes to say, the life universe and everything.
Yep.
Life happens.
But, this year we have I've really stepped out of my comfort zone. We're sponsoring a couple of conventions this year. Finally, we've gotten press for Anime Boston after multiple years of trying, which I am so excited about. And I'm like, when you said you were going to be there putting on game shows, I didn't know that. So that makes me really excited. I'm almost more excited that you're putting on game shows and I get to see you than I am of the current celebrity list.
So, the old buzzers that we used for Press Your Luck, I'm repurposing them. I'm repurposing one of them to be the buzzer, the big button for Deal or No Deal. So this is it, and this is only a stand-in, but this is going to be the lid. So when I say Deal or No Deal, so just like on the show, yeah. So it's we again, authenticity. We're gonna try. We always try to go for that. So, yeah. Yeah, and again, I'm glad to see that. Yeah, I'm also really glad to see that Anime-Zing Radio has. What's the initials for that? I keep forgetting.
AZR.
AZR. Okay, AZR has grown a lot. I'm really glad to have seen that. I tried to listen whenever I get a chance to, but from the stuff I've seen, it's really grown a lot, and I'm very proud of what you've done. So. Congratulations on 8 years for you as well.
I thank you so much. And I, as you know, it's definitely not a one-man team. I have some amazing supporters, sponsors, fans who have tuned in on a regular basis. We're still growing the show. For all of our viewers out there, if this is your first time watching us, hit that subscribe button down below. We are still fairly new to the YouTube scene, even though we've been around for 8 years. Once we hit 200 subscribers, we're going to be doing a giveaway where one lucky subscriber gets to sit in a co-host seat for a future voice actor interview. As to the best of my knowledge from the research that I've done up to this point, we are the only show that offers fans a chance to talk to a voice actor for 2 hours. You can't do that at conventions. There's not many other podcasts that are anime related that bring on voice acting guests on a regular basis like we do. So definitely an awesome chance for you to come on and possibly connect with one of your favorite English dub voice actors.
Yes. So also, I don't know if Darren and Angela can see this, but I've also posted a link in our for you guys to take a look at what some of the stuff I do, some of the stuff BDE does. So if you when you get a chance, just take a look at that. and then you'll see what I'm talking. Again, they're saying there's a method to my madness. So, but yeah, it was. But yeah, so we've had, probably one of my biggest ambitions is actually to run Wheel of Fortune. But the only way we can do that for me to have my sense of accomplishment is doing it 1-to-1. We've had some other game shows that we've done in the past that we've experimented, but didn't work. We've worked. It did work out, but because of the venue and the type of convention, we mainly stick to what works with us. So the two shows we do, regardless of wherever we are, is Super Millionaire and Press Your Luck. But it's an Anime Boston's exclusive game show for us is Deal or No Deal, and then for NaughtyCon it was Match Game. So what other game shows we are thinking about doing is possibly Card Sharks.
I love that one. Another one I would like to see you attempt is Hollywood Squares.
I was just about to say the same.
Hollywood Squares. That can be fun. That could be a lot of fun. Another one I was also again, Wheel of Fortune. I feel like would be one that would be exclusive when we are on the main stage at a certain convention, such as Retro World Expo. But for Anime Boston, this is the first time that I'm presenting on the main stage. Normally, the last time I was there, it was just in the game show room. So being on the main stage this year is going to be going to be a lot of fun. So again, but the main stage though, it's still up in the air right now because I think they're still working out a couple of kinks on logistics. But if we can't do it, then we'll go back into the regular game show room. But the logistics will still apply there. The only difference is we just won't have the fun stage and lighting, choreography that I had in mind. So, but yeah, and so another one we were thinking of doing is Family Feud.
Yes.
Oh my god.
I'll tell you this right now. I ain't no Steve Harvey. I won't.
That's okay.
My voice can't crack at 6 feet 14 inches tall. I'm lucky that I'm 5'5" with shoes on.
I was about to say we've had something called Otaku
the Entertainer, for God's sakes.
What were you saying, Darren?
We've had something called Otaku Feud done at a couple of the conventions. I can't remember if it was SuperCon or Anime-Zing. I want to say it was Anime-Zing, but I'm pretty sure that gets done almost every year.
Oh my god! Could you imagine him doing Family Feud and pitting like podcasts against each other, like AZR against like Geek Squad or something like that? That would be nuts.
God.
I would love that actually.
Ditto.
One thing my team and I were talking about is celebrities, or celebrities versus civilians. That would be one, or we would have two celebrities playing as the head of the families versus four super fans. That would to see how that would go. I think that would also go far as well. And then probably what we would do is after whoever wins the main game, instead of the two members from the winning team, it will be the two celebrities playing for the playing fast money, something like that. So just to keep things more keep things interesting. Oh, come on. Can you see, you just picture this, okay? Just picture.
I already have two people in mind that would be hysterical to see them go against each other.
Oh, God. Who are you thinking?
Anthony Bowling versus Jeremy Inman, because they are such good friends, but Jeremy picks on Anthony something fierce. And I know this. We've had both of them on the show at the same time for a Christmas special, and there was a lot of back and forth banter. I've had the honor of meeting Jeremy Inman would love to meet Anthony at some point. Missed the 2 times that he was up in the New England area for either financial reasons or one time our daughter was born 6 days before the convention, so obviously we weren't able to make that one. But they go back and forth. I think that would be just as funny as seeing like Brandon versus Tatum.
Oh God.
And Davira knows what I'm talking about.
We would have to make that a 21 plus family feud, not 18 plus, 21 plus. That, you know why? Because I know we're gonna have martinis in hand, at least for Tatum.
If you could work your way into Kineticon, they're both guests at Kineticon. They were announced.
Oh, geez. Finally they're coming back up, but I'm hoping they would be back for AAC again this year. I'm also in talks with them to see. It will be my return to AAC for the first time in 6 years. So we're gonna try to work something out on logistics of what games I'm going to be running. So I have a feeling I would be running both Super Millionaire and Press Your Luck again this year. But we'll see. If we can pull it off, I may look into doing a celebrity family feud. I may, and to make your wish come true.
Oh my God, that would be hysterical.
Which means we would have to be there to record this nonsense.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure, but that may be the first time AAC may have a 21 plus convention as opposed to 18 plus. So maybe we'll see.
I know Kineticon last year had 21 plus panels, and they had a 21 plus room to be part of multiple panels because they served alcohol.
Right. So we may, if we were to do, I know that the game shows team at AAC they run match game. But do they do their own version of match game, or do they go for the authentic match game? So, but like I said, because I want to try to make some conventions, some of our game shows exclusive to certain conventions, so we can get more people to go to not only to our shows but also to that convention as well. So, like I said, but I'm not sure if we were to do as match game. I know that NaughtyCon is no longer around, they have. I think 2018 was their last year. So the last year they ran it. I'm not sure when they'll be running it again. But I know that match game was that con exclusive game show. So we may bring match game to another convention, but that would be one of the stipulations. It has to be a 21 plus for the and we will have civilians play, and the panelists will be the celebrities, to have that authentic match game feel.
I kind of have a convention in mind that would be fun. Granted, I've never been to this convention before we go there in May, but working with PucciCon, they hold 2 conventions, one in the Pocono Mountains at the Camelback Lodge this year. They've been growing. They're also going to be doing a PucciCon in Teaneck, New Jersey in August. So I might reach out to the owner CEO who we had on the show last night about reaching out to you about the possibility of bringing BBE on to PucciCon for some shows.
That may be a possibility, but it also depends on the scheduling, on what dates that of PucciCon is, because I know that in August, we will be presenting at Retro World Expo.
6 and 7.
Okay, because we have that, and I believe the next weekend is going to be Fan Expo Boston. So I'm interested in seeing if we can run one of our shows there too. So, but yeah,
we're going to try to work you to death now with all these shows.
Hey, as long as you pay me, we're good to go. You know?
And I know PuchiCon, New Jersey, we're finalizing stuff right now with PuchiCon about sponsoring that convention as well. We're proud sponsors of the Pennsylvania show. We're going to be sponsoring the New Jersey show. And Angela is also going to be able to accompany us for the New Jersey PuchiCon. So.
Oh, wonderful. Cool. Yeah, it's like, we, I think, as far as I know, I think the only shows that BBE is going to be at officially so far is Anime Boston and Retro World Expo. But with Anime Boston, we are a part of the game show staff. So some people on the game show staff will run their own stuff. Then when I run my stuff, it is the BBE quality, I should say. But so again, we'll be, I believe Granite State Comic Con is going to be another one we're going to be at. And then, again, knock on wood, AAC, my return to AAC. Oh God. The reason why we haven't had AAC was because of schedule conflicts, because it fell on the same weekend. 9 out of 10 times it fell on the same weekend as Retro World Expo, and that's the only reason why we haven't been there. So I was like, So, but I do miss everyone that convention. So whoever I see there. So, hey Darren, what conventions do you think BBE would be good at in your area?
The main two I go to and two of the bigger ones are held at the Raleigh Convention Center. Anime-Zing is held Memorial Weekend every year, so this year it falls in line with Momo. It always competes with MomoCon, and it's also competing with Anime Boston this year, and also happening in Raleigh. Something else that's going to be competing with it is they're actually having a horror convention at the fairgrounds, which is literally less than 15 minutes away from the convention center. So you got a lot of competition for Anime-Zing this year. And then SuperCon is generally held the last weekend of July.
Oh, geez. Okay. Yep. And what about
there's a couple other conventions that are held throughout different parts of the state. I know Triad Anime Convention, I think in Charlotte, was held a couple weeks ago. Fayetteville has a Comic-Con they put on either once or twice a year. I don't remember.
Right. Isn't there a Lexicon as well?
I want to say yes. I'm not sure. Sounds like that will be in Lexington.
Right.
I would have to look into that. I generally try to stay within reasonable driving distance. I'm not one to book a hotel for a convention. At least not yet. I have too much going on to be traveling that far for that many days.
Oh, understandable. And what about you, Angela? What conventions are in your area?
I am in Boston, so literally. So, like I said, next weekend I will be running around at PAX East, Anime Boston. I don't know what else. I'm also one of those that has been traveling to events for a long time.
Yeah.
I'm not sure when Gary's going to have his next conventions, but there's Northeast Comic Con that he puts on 2 to 3 times a year. Sometimes he holds it around. Typically, he does one like 4th of July weekend. He does one the weekend after Thanksgiving. He had one back in March that Angela and I met up at and went to.
One of the events I do every year is usually right around Thanksgiving, either the weekend before or the weekend after, down in Philadelphia, PAX Unplugged, for all of those game tech people who enjoy games.
Yeah, there is one convention I would love to do one of my shows at, do a BBE show at, but it's just not possible because of timing.
Which
It's out. It's actually out in California. It's Power Morphicon in Pasadena. I would love to run Press Your Luck there because I'm also a huge Power Rangers fan. So grew up with the show from the very beginning, but mainly within the pretty much from the Mighty Morphin era season, the Mighty Morphin series, all the way up to In Space. That was like my era of Power Rangers, the Zordon era, as most fans like to call it. But from that point forward, I was in and out of it up until like the 2017 movie with that came out with Elizabeth Banks as Rita Repulsa. And since I cosplay Rita Repulsa, that was also one of my main motivations of auditioning to be a contestant on the Real Press Your Luck for this upcoming season. So I placed in the application and then and hope that hey, they saw in the application they see I'm a cosplayer and they see me as Rita Repulsa. Elizabeth Banks, the host, was Rita Repulsa because everyone that has been on the show is like, oh, they love her. Say they love her. They know, obviously they know her from the Hunger Games. Like, no, she's Rita Repulsa. So, but doing it at Power Morphicon, I know that a lot of the Power Rangers actors are also big game show fans. A lot of too. So, if we were to do like a celebrity press your luck game there, that would be so much fun. I can only imagine how competitive these celebrity players would be against each other, because I would say it's like it'll be like their respective Power Ranger team against another respective Power Ranger team. So we would play it. We would go off that It's like Team Mighty Morphin versus Team Time Force versus Team Ninja Steel.
So see about doing that one year.
Yeah.
Just prioritizing that.
Yeah. So if unfortunately this year Retro World Expo falls on the same weekend as Power Morphicon, otherwise I would have tried that. But
next year.
Yeah. Well, I think that's the other thing too. That's the other hiccup. Power Morphicon comes and goes every other year. So that's the one thing that was the one thing that that's the one thing about Power Morphicon that's like can they do it every year? I think they try to do it every other year, mainly because trying to get as many of the Ranger actors from each series, but not only from Power Rangers but also from Super Sentai. So they try to get as many of the actors from the Super Sentai series to come from Japan to come to Power Morphicon too. So that would be really cool. But the question now is, if I were to host Press Your Luck at Power Morphicon, should I cosplay as Rita Repulsa?
Yes.
The answer is yes.
Yeah.
Do I cosplay as yes? Yeah. The answer is always yes.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We'll see. Barbara Goodson can be right behind you and just read what I've written for her. So as if we'll do, as if Rita is actually hosting it. Sure, that'll go over very well. But I've it was but again, I would like to see if we can do something, get more involvement since the pandemic is in the convention scene has really been detrimental to so many people, artists, celebs, because for some of them that's their source of income. So, and of course, the convention organizers too. This is taking a big toll on all of us, and to see that conventions are coming back into the fold again, that means I get to go back and doing game show hosting. So yay for people trying to follow protocol rules and have us get back to where we were. So
and I had made a post talking about that. I was going to make 2022 a year that I really put a lot of focus on growing the radio show. I had set a goal of hitting 10 cons at least, getting tables at 5, and I realized yesterday or today while I was out on the disc golf course with a friend of mine who had come up from Massachusetts, that by the time PucciCon in August comes around, I think I will have hit 8 conventions and tabled at 4. And so it's like very, very doable, but I'm going to be killing myself to make everything happen. I've already hit 2 shows this year. Our lineup for those of you, for the fans out there who are interested in seeing Anime-Zing Radio at a convention, next weekend we have Vermont Sci-Fi and Fantasy Expo that I will be at with a table promoting AZR. Angela will be at PAX East all weekend as an enforcer, plus doing some show stuff. We're going to try to do our first ever tandem live stream from 2 conventions to give the fans a chance to tune in and see what's going on in Vermont and what's going on at PAX East, which it's going to be interesting. We apologize ahead of time if there's any hiccups, but we're going to do the best we can to provide the information and the entertainment from both events. 3 weeks after that, we'll be at PucciCon in Pennsylvania, up at the Camelback Lodge. 2 weeks after that, of course, Memorial Day weekend, we'll be at Anime Boston, hanging out with Div and poking fun at him as a game show host. Not really. We're just going to have a lot of fun out there. We also have Rail City Fan Fest in June, Kineticon in July that we're looking at, of course, PucciCon in New Jersey, potentially other conventions mixed in there. In July, there's also a Vermont Pop Culture Con that I may look into. In June, there's Albany Comic Con that I may be looking into. So there's a lot of other events in there. And then, of course, still waiting to finish out the year, AAC, maybe more NECC appearances and stuff. So definitely we'll try to keep our list updated on the Facebook page as to where you can find us. And, it's going to be a very hectic, very busy schedule, but we're going to have a lot of fun doing this, or as much fun as we can without trying to kill ourselves
or each other.
Well, I know if I push myself too hard, Angela will drive up here and kick my butt. So
yep. I schedule permitting, I want to do at least one board gaming convention before PAX Unplugged at the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
However, I don't know, because work, life, vacation already planned. We'll see.
Oh yeah. And what about you, Darren?
Until some things change, I will be refraining from conventions.
Right.
I'm sorry to say, but yeah, until some things change, I will be refraining from conventions. And plus, my business has really cut into my time, so it's kind of hard to schedule around them anyway.
Oh, that's understandable. Again, life happens, even with the best of us. So, yeah, and I'll be plugging. Yes, Milo. Just a moment, honey.
The boss has spoken.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. No, I'll be running. I'll be running customer deal or no deal, and helping out with all the other game shows that are happening at Anime Boston in May, and then of course in August I'll be at Retro World Expo, September, Granite State Comic Con, and hopefully in October or whenever they have it, AAC. I'll be making my return to that, and maybe some other conventions as well. But I wish I was at PAX. I was going to PAX, but yes, Milo, hang on, honey. So I wish I was able to attend, but unfortunately, unfortunately, I won't be able to this year. But next year, if tickets don't sell out within 10 minutes, I'll try again.
There are still tickets available for everything but Saturday only.
You're kidding me.
No, I am not.
Oh, well, that may change some things then. So that may change some possibilities. So if so, there may be a chance you may see me then, Angela. Maybe, maybe.
If so, come by the info booth because I will be there from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. all 4 days.
Okay, all right then. Good to know. All right. Well, I think Milo is calling to my attention here. So I'm afraid my time will be ending here shortly. So, but I want to thank you again, Doug, for reaching out and inviting me back to be on this fun radio show we call Anime-Zing Radio, AZR. So, and for those who want to know more about about what I do, again, please visit us on social media at hashtag BBE Game Shows, Facebook, Twitter, and I believe I think Instagram is going to be pretty launching soon, if not by the end of the month. And of course, when the videos start coming in, also on YouTube as well. Yes, Milo. So again, hashtag BBE Game Shows, people. So again, thank you for your time here. And now
thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us, and congratulations again on 10 years of BBE. We look forward to so many more years of game show enjoyment and entertainment.
Well, again, thank you for having me, and thank you guys, and thank you all for listening, folks. So until I see you next time, help control the pet population. Have your pets spayed or neutered.
Yes.
Yes. Take care,
have a good night, Dave.
Thank you.
So, Davira Kuy, awesome guy, a lot of fun. The game shows, as you heard me say, personal testimony of being at a few of his shows at AAC. He really does put on a fantastic show. I don't know, Angela, if you've had a chance to see any of the game shows he's put on in the past.
Not recently.
But they are fun. And it was really neat. And I told the story to him shortly before we had come on air about when he had pulled me up during a Press Your Luck game show. Because he, as we mentioned, he pulls audience members up as contestants. And then during the wheel spins, he will randomly select somebody out of the audience. And they'll have a chance at winning a candy bar or something like that. And if the contestant hits a whammy, you lose. If they hit any other item, you win. And I did happen to win, but he introduces me to everybody. Goes, I want to bring up my friend Doug Engler. He hosts a podcast called Anime-Zing Radio, and I see in the front row a young lady who's sitting there and goes, "Oh my God, I listened to that!" And that we were only a couple years old at that point in time, and that's when it hit me that, oh my God, that people do pay attention to the show, and it was really, really cool to be a part of. And Div left, but did he come back?
Oh, I was actually listening. I would let the cat out of my room here, and I was just listening. Like, oh God, guy, that's so sweet. Thank you.
I looked down. It's like he's still here. So
I'm watching.
By the way, Doug.
Yes.
Where's your fuzzballs?
Haru came up and I was getting attention earlier. Ainz, you can't see because of the orange blanket on the couch back there, but on the other side of that orange blanket is an orange furball. So he is back there, and then like I try not to snicker or point much attention to it, but over my shoulder here, this was an antique shop find that we could not resist. Yes, it's a ceramic cat that dispenses tissues out its butt. And it's something that we now own, but the reason that we bought it was there was no price tag on it, so we asked how much it was. And they told us $6 and change. With tax, it came to about $7.50. And brand new, that retailed for over $40 on Amazon for that same exact thing. And there was no chips, dents, scratches, paint missing, or anything on it. It was like new. It's like, we're going to buy this. And so now we have a tissue dispensing cat. and it's in every screenshot now. So I look at this, you can see all the videos of everybody, and I look behind me, I see that, and I try not to start laughing. Welcome to the world I live in, dude.
Never a dull moment.
Never a dull moment
at all.
Cute.
So,
and Angela is always able to provide some interesting content on the TV over her shoulder. I see you constantly looking back, being like, "What the hell are they watching now?"
Yep, and it's binging with Babish right now.
And you can't see anything on my camera because, like I said, I still don't have one set up.
Occasionally, Darren will set up his camera with a figure. I had to laugh because he's got some figures that the top half comes off and they get naked. And he one time he put a Rias figure out on the table. Through the whole show, everything was good. As soon as we went off the air, the top fell off. And it was like, oh, I guess that was pretty good timing. I don't remember who the guest was for that, but they got a kick out of it. It might have been Rusty.
I don't remember.
But that was an entertaining show. I do want to thank everybody who's tuned in tonight. Ross, thank you for all the comments and stuff. He started to question me about the Kobayashi comment I made earlier about the episode. She was turned into a guy, and he said he looked it up, and I was right. It was episode 2. Ross also talking about Davira says, this is a really cool person. Glad I got to hear him.
Oh,
Ross has been one of our loyal listeners for years, and hearts out to everybody who has supported us, whether this is your first time or you've been with us since day one back in 2014, which, my God.
Oh, yeah.
Does there ever come a point in time, Dave, where you look back and you're like, I've been doing this for this many years?
Yeah.
Where has the time gone? And I'll be the. Oh, go ahead, Dave.
I was going to make a wise ass comment and say the time went to hell.
I was going to ask what I was doing with my life.
Because I used to have those moments when I was running CCG tournaments, but
yeah. Oh dear. Yeah. Wow. It's yeah.
When you have the anniversary shows or you look back in like, I can't imagine what we're going to be doing 2 years from now for the experiences we're going to have in the next 2 years with Anime-Zing Radio, especially where this year we're really trying to branch out and push and grow the show. And the fact that, we have gone to so far as to sponsoring conventions and stuff of that nature. And, I want to throw a shout out to Jennifer Perez from Puchikan, who gave us a donation on our Patreon. For those of you who wish to support AZR, you can go over to patreon.com/Anime-Zing Radio. The link is right below my picture. And give us some support. All funds raised by that are going to get put back into the show to help support either convention funds, upgrade equipment, things of that nature. None of the funds that come in from Patreon will ever be used for personal use. Everything will be going right back into the radio show, including working towards our ultimate goal of providing our own anime voice acting guest at a convention. That is one of my dreams that I would love to accomplish. So if you want to help support that, and I don't know who it would be, I've talked to a lot of different voice actors who are all for it. It's just figuring out how much, when, and where.
So you wouldn't consider it going toward your anime figure of the week?
No.
Sorry, I had to throw that one out there.
Oh, I know it.
I just want to get. I just want to get my hands on one of Regis Philbin's ties.
With him in it, or with him wearing it, or no?
Oh no, unfortunately he passed away a couple of back in 2020. No, I would want to have one of the ties that he wore on Millionaire and add it to my own personal collection. I just want 5 of them. I want silver, gold, red, the metallic black, and silver, gold, metallic red, metallic black, and metallic blue. That's all I need. It's a verse. Yeah, those are versatile colors enough. I can use it for any shirt color combination. It'll still be just fine.
And Ross in the chat says, got an important question for you all. Might not make sense, but have any of you in your life heard of Roy D. Mercer? If not, when you have time, go listen to it on YouTube or Spotify.
The only Mercer I know is Matt Mercer.
Ditto.
I think I've actually heard of Roy Mercer, but I'm not sure from where. But
sorry for that Joker laugh or that pseudo Joker laugh.
Well, Ange, you have an interesting story with Matt Mercer, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Ooh! Spill the tea! Let me get my nail file. Come on.
It was at Colossal Con, Ohio, 2015, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Overwatch hadn't been released yet.
Oh dear.
And I was just chilling with someone, and the person I was chilling with wanted to go to this Matt Mercer's panel. So I said, sure, why not? I had nothing better to do.
Mm-hmm.
Get his I ended up getting his autograph. And then later on, I'm in the hot tub at the water park with my friends. And Matt Mercer actually, now mind you, by this point, everyone has had way too much to drink. And my friend's pointing out that it's Matt Mercer. I'm like, yeah, I met him already. And he actually recognized me. And there's a picture on my Facebook page of me, Matt Mercer, and a girl I no longer talk to.
In a hot tub.
In a hot tub. And it was hilarious.
I've had my share with some Star Wars actors, with that, involving a few drinks. One of them actually helped me out at a dark time in my life. I went through a really bad breakup with my then boyfriend, and he talked. I thought he was a fake Facebook profile. So and then it turned out it was actually him. And then we started talking, and then he actually helped me, really get through a really bad breakup. And then it turned out, hey, he was going to be a guest at a convention, and he actually pulled me out. It was him and his then fiance. We actually all hung out, and we actually just talked, and it was in his and it was I'll talk, but it was not like in the restaurant of the hotel. He actually invited me up to his room, and we actually talked. He was that personal with me, and it was I considered him a friend more than just a, oh my god, it's a Star Wars actor. It's no. This is just so and so.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, oh my god, you know him. It's like, yeah, but it's just so and so. Yeah, but it was and then there was another Star Wars actor who I had a few drinks, and then we just hit it off. And every time when he sees me at a convention now, he goes out of his way to say hello to me now, and greets me with the biggest hug ever. I guess I impressed him that now. I guess I impressed him that much.
And some of these celebrities, the voice actors, the actors and stuff, when you get to meet them, and like we've been fortunate here on the show for me for the last 8 years, we've had over 60 different voice actors on the show, from anime, video games, everything. You get American cartoons like Sonic, and even Hollywood actresses with Giovanni Cruz and I can't remember her name now. I feel so horrible. She was in Get the Gringo, Denise Gossett. Having had them on the show, and it's weird because I view myself as just like an ordinary person. I don't consider myself to be a celebrity on any level. This is just something we do for fun. Get to interview some amazing people like yourself, Div, and the stuff that you guys do. And then when we get to a convention and I finally get to meet, like, Kineticon last year was a perfect example because we brought a friend of ours who is new to the anime world. And he's in line with us, wanted to go meet Jeremy Inman, who had been a guest on the show a couple of times, including one of our most talked about episodes ever, a Christmas special, where he had to keep leaving to refill his cup. And every time he came back, it was with a different voice actor. Whether it be Tia Ballard, Terry Doty, Stephen Fu, a couple others. Every time he came back, there was somebody new. And Tia came on and chatted with us, I think, 2 or 3 times while they're having a Christmas party with a lot of voice actors from Funimation. So finally getting a chance to meet him was fantastic. And, you know, you walk up to the table to get the autograph and stuff. I was like, hi, Jeremy, it's nice to meet you. Doug Engler with Anime-Zing Radio. And his face lights up. He's like, oh, my God, it's so great to finally meet you. And you look at everybody behind the cat behind, like, hi.
No, he just appeared out of nowhere. He's like a ghost. Damn cat teleported.
Ninja cat.
It's a witch cat. Burn it. No.
But to see the look on, like, our friend Jeremy's face, he was kind of in awe, and everybody in line behind, you could see him looking like, how does Jeremy know this guy? It's a weird feeling when you can walk up and just talk to him as a normal person and in a friendly sense, as opposed to just a fan.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a neat feeling.
See, I felt this. That's what I felt like the same one with Tatum, you know, because I'll be honest with you. Before I started getting involved with the anime scene, anime convention scene, anime was actually not one of my strong passions. And but when I when I was first introduced to Tatum, I didn't know who he was. I didn't know what work he did. I didn't. And a lot of people, you know, and of course, you know, I was at an anime convention, so you can imagine what, you know, how much the otakus and weeaboos went after me like a lynch mob, and and it's like, whoa, I'm still a newbie to the scene here. Hold your horses, there, Columbo. Hold the pony, Columbo. And so when I first met Tatum, he was just Michael to me, and he was just Michael. I was like, oh my God, T. Michael. No, it's just Michael. So I was like, oh, cool. What do you do? It's like, and I was like, are you serious? Like, it's like, and then Mike knew because and then we started talking. Then I actually fell in love with him because not only from his work, but also from his hobbies, because he's also a classically trained pianist. So, and I play pianos and keys as well, and I sing. So we bonded over that, and then and so every time when I'm at a convention, he's also one of those celebs that would just and voice actors that would just pull me out of the crowd as soon as he sees me. Doug, have you ever been to any of, or Angela, have you ever been in any of the 18 plus panels?
No, it's actually been a long time since.
Okay.
I don't think I've been to an anime convention in 4 years.
Yep. Okay.
I've been to them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I can tell you. We've got the clock's going off here, but you got to hear this story because it's hysterical. We went to an 18 plus panel one time, Tatum's, and I'll tell the audience right now: if you're 18 plus, you're at a convention, Tatum's at, and he's doing his WTF panel, 18 plus. It is worth the price of admission to the con, regardless of what that price is, just for this one panel because it's phenomenal.
It's hysterical. It's like, so the last one I did with him was actually at Anime Boston 18, and he pulled me up. And as soon as he saw me, he's like, I was on stage with him, and for those questions that on the panel. So I'm like, you sure you want me to go? I was like, and he was like, yeah, get your butt up there. Again, language. So get your butt up there. So it's like, all right, fine, all right. So I did, and it was. If you ever get a chance to be in the panel along with him, woo!
Because we had press for AAC for many, many years, and when it was in Manchester, being press meant we got to stay in the room when they were changing, the audience out from one panel to the next. So we would go to the panel before it was 18 plus. With our press badges, we were able to move front and center. Well, this one particular year, not thinking anything of it, my wife, who is a diehard fan of Michael Tatum, went back to the hotel room, took a shower. She got, in pajama pants, figure, hair's kind of a mess. Just, we're going to go down, have fun at this one last panel of the night, not thinking anything of it. And of course, Michael sees us front and center, and he knows us because I've interviewed him like 4 or 5 times. He's seen us at AAC for many years in a row. We've had a sit-down interview with him at AAC one year. Well, he comes down, and he gets straight down and kneels in front of my wife and goes, "Hello, Syracuse." And she starts getting embarrassed because she's wearing my Syracuse sleeping pants. And she looks at me, and he goes, "Don't look at him, look at me." Every other girl in this room would kill to be in your position right now. He knew exactly what he was doing. He also knew how big of a fan she was of his. And none of this was prompted, had no idea any of this was going to happen. And he just talks to her for a couple of minutes at the start of his panel. And she's like, oh my God. Internally, I can see she's fangirling like a 5-year-old. Externally, she's trying not to be overly embarrassed by everything. And it's just that he is just such an amazing individual, and I would love to get him back on the show, but his schedule has been so crazy, and he has been so difficult to get a hold of recently.
Yeah.
Would love to get him or Brandon on the show.
Yeah, I actually tried reaching out to him a couple of months ago, ahead of time, so to see if he can do a little video shout out, to sell, just congratulations on our 10-year anniversary as well. And I didn't hear back from him, so it's like, that man is forever busy. Both him and Brandon. They're always doing something. But I did ask him the last time I did see him, which was Rhode Island Comic Con 2019. I did ask him, all right, when are you two getting married? Just come on, this engagement this is killing me. I saw the proposal video. I don't know if you guys saw it, but
I got to see that. Yeah.
Did you get to see it, Angela?
No.
Oh, all right. TLDR version. Brandon proposed to Michael in front of the oldest bookstore in the world in Paris. You see, and because they were on vacation, and they were so they were all about, and then he said, "Hey, let's go into the bookstore." So after they came out from the bookstore, so I think Brandon had someone record it secretly to get Michael's reaction. Oh my God, they were both crying. It's like, oh, be still my heart.
But they are such a perfect match for each other. They really are, and really could not be happier. And I know we're doing a little bit of bonus time here for all of our wonderful listeners out there and viewers. After 7 years of saying listeners, and now we're doing video, I keep forgetting.
Yeah.
But we do want to thank everybody for tuning in. Like I said, next Sunday night, we're not doing a live show. We're going to be doing the shows during the day. We're going to try to do some live recording during the convention, both Saturday and Sunday. We'll be live at Vermont Sci-Fi and Fantasy Expo, and going to try to do some live stuff starting at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Angela, when she's available to come in as well, she's going to be joining us periodically from PAX.
I might also be, if between Convention Center Wi-Fi and Facebook Live, if it wants to cooperate, 50-50 odds at best. I might be doing some bonus Facebook Live content with cosplayers, photographers, gaming people from PAX.
Excellent.
Also, we have some cool stuff that we've been talking about. There's going to be some possibility of some live shows going on during the week. That Angela is looking into doing, maybe some live RPG gaming, things of that nature, which will be really cool. Unfortunately, with my new work schedule, I'm not available to do stuff Monday through Thursday nights anymore.
Which means I'm taking over the host chair for a night.
So that's definitely something you don't want to miss. If Angela's taking over the host seat, all hell's going to break loose. In fact, I might
lifelines. Throw out your lifelines.
In fact, that might be a fun thing to do for a random Sunday night. Just be like, all right, Angela, you're host. Darren and I are co-hosts, and I've done it to Darren before.
Oh,
we might have to give Angela the reins, and I won't even tell her who the guest is. It'll just be a surprise.
Oh boy.
She's like, wait, what?
No, you'd get completely unfiltered, which unfiltered pure Boston, which might be its own problem.
Oh, come on, pull out the Southie accent.
It would be wicked.
You all know it's the Southie Boston accent. Come on, I can't do it. I was born a Californian.
I was born closer to the New Hampshire. No, I was actually born in New Hampshire, so I don't have the very strong accent. But what the fuck?
I was born in Attleboro, Mass, and spent most of my life in Massachusetts.
Mm-hmm.
Now living in New York.
So, are we still allowed to do a little bonus time, or are we wrapping up?
Yeah, we could go as long as you want.
All right, bonus hours. Okay. All right. So I thought I was leaving, but I guess not now. Thanks to the cat.
In about 5 minutes, I'm actually leaving to go to bed because I have to work tomorrow.
Okay. Alrighty then. But question for you here, Doug.
Okay.
Or any of you. When you guys have done like a podcast or do a live stream, any big names crashed your live stream?
The only other time I have actually done a live broadcast from a convention was ChaseCon many moons ago down in Saratoga. It's now called Saratoga Comic-Con, and that was our first ever convention that we were at. And I want to say she didn't make an appearance on the show on the live stream, but she was a guest at the convention. It was her first ever time being a guest at a convention. That was voice actress Michaela Krantz, and I'll tell you, she is a wonderful person to hang out with at these shows. Any convention promoter, if you can get Michaela Krantz, you won't be disappointed. Very talented voice actress, a lot of fun, loves the fans. The only time I've really ever been photobombed by a big name celebrity was my wedding. I don't know if you have ever heard the story about my wife's and my wedding. We got married at a Comic-Con, dressed as Pokemon by a comic artist on the cosplay stage.
Mm-hmm.
And we got photobombed by some guy. You may have heard of him or not, but Barry Boswick.
You're kidding me.
I am not kidding you. Barry Boswick photobombed our wedding photo. And Darren can confirm this because he asked Barry about it at a convention down in Raleigh.
Oh,
indeed.
Rocky Horror.
He asked me if they were still together, to which I replied yes, and he's like, this is why I photobombed the wedding. I was the magic charm or something along those lines for them still being together.
That guy right there.
Yep. Oh yeah. Oh, that's funny. That is funny.
And then, as an added bonus, I grew up with listening to the music in the 50s and 60s, so I grew up a diehard Monkees fan. Mickey Dolenz sang at our reception because he was a guest of that convention as well.
Oh, wow.
So that was just like a magical night and just a lot of fun. Um, and I like telling that story. That I tell everybody that my wife and I have like the nerdiest love story ever. We met because of Pokemon, fell in love over Minecraft, got married as Pokemon at a Comic-Con. I don't know if I don't know if you've ever heard of Rusty Gilligan. He was the comic artist who performed the ceremony. He's done work as a comic artist. He was a professional wrestler. He was an extra on Little House on the Prairie. So he's done acting. He's done all sorts of stuff. An awesome, awesome guy. Good friend of the show. He's been on a numerous amount of times.
Excellent. That's cool. That's really, really cool. I think my photobomb story on was actually during quarantine. I was doing a cosplay live. I was doing a Facebook live in cosplay. I was in my Quan Chi cosplay for Mortal Kombat, and then Rich DeVizio, the original Quan Chi actor from the games, crashed my live stream. He just jumped in, and at first he messaged me, and then I asked him if he wanted to join. He's like, "Yeah, sure." So he did, and then originally it was supposed to be an hour long. Ended up being a 2 hour long live stream because so many people were asking him questions, and with about his time on Mortal Kombat while we were discussing it, and a lot of people were just throwing in questions like, "Hey, Rich, what was this like? What was this like? What was this like?" It's like, guys, this is my live stream. Leave me alone. No. I really didn't do that, but it was really cool though because he saw the costume. Finally, he saw the costume, and I was like, I was doing his version, so he was really appreciative of that. So. Yeah, so I kind of fanboyed in the middle of a live stream there. So
I can say that usually with the voice actors that we bring on, I'm able to maintain a professional composure no matter how excited I might be based off of who the person is.
oh yeah, well, it was on my personal Facebook, so it's like I was raw.
But this one time we had Marissa Lenti on the show, voice actor who we'd had on the show 2 or 3 times prior. And then she got her first lead role as Yuna in an anime called Kuma 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 Bear. We got her to come back on to talk about it, and the fanboy in me came out tenfold when she first came on to join us, and I felt so horrible after the fact. I'm like, I'm so embarrassed this came out, but I was like beside myself. And this is somebody who I've loved her work for years, and then seeing her first, like I have a figure and an Nendroid of Yuna on the shelves behind me, just because the anime is just so adorable.
Yeah.
But we do want to say good night to everybody tuning in. Thank you for the bonus few minutes here. Again, next week we'll be live from conventions. No 8 p.m. show. We will be returning back on the air on May 1st. We're going to be joined by Lilith Fernandez, a talented cosplayer who unfortunately couldn't join us for the cosplay roundtable due to technical issues. So we're excited about welcoming her back. So definitely tune in for our next live Sunday night show on May 1st. Until then, have a wonderful week. Happy Easter to everybody. Be safe out there, and we will see you again right here on Anime-Zing Radio.
See you next time.
Bye-bye.